and the city of Memphis are partnering together to implement a safety action plan for the city of Memphis. That safety action plan is trying to eliminate and lower the fatal and serious injury of the roadway. And with that safety action plan, it creates and implements a project for the future of the city of Memphis to lower the fatal and serious injury rate. So with that, at the table behind where I'm located, you can come talk with me, and we have interactive mapping, a survey that creates our website where we separate that type of crash and stuff like that. And also next week, next Wednesday, we have a public engagement at St. Andrew AME Church, right off of South Parkway, that you can come and also talk with us about those different types of crash rates or different problems you see with the roadway.
Right. Good evening, everyone. My name is and I'm the Multicultural Outreach Coordinator for the City of Memphis Office of Community Affairs. So I just wanted to tell you all a little bit about the Community Affairs programs that we run out of our office. The first one is called Opportunity R3, and that stands for Rethinking, Rebuilding, Rebranding. Opportunity R3 is for youth 16 to 24 that are not enrolled in school and that are not employed. And so this program helps to connect them to career pathways. They get resume coaching, they get interview coaching, they get connected directly to shadowing opportunities in the career field of their choice. And they also get mentorship, support, and help as they want to enter school or the workforce. We also have the Police Advisory Review Committee, that's PARC for short. So this is the body that you can go to if you ever have an issue of misconduct with a Memphis police officer. They will take your information and review your case in confidence. And then we also have Bridge. So this is the city's formerly known as the Second Chance Program. So this is the office that offers record expungements. Driver's license reinstatement is currently on pause. It may return, but definitely recommend folks to come in if you know that they want to get something cleared from their record. We take walk-ins 8:30 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, but they can also call our office and make an appointment. We also, as an entire office, run Mayor Young's town halls. Have any of you ever attended any of Mayor Young's town halls in the city? So he has one coming up in March in Cordova. April is Midtown. May is Whitehaven. And then throughout the summer and the fall, we will release more dates. If you would like to sign up for the mayor's newsletter, you can leave your name and email in the back here with my wonderful colleague, Ms. Carter. Right, Ms. Carter? And we also have some materials for you. And last but not least, we are launching the Neighborhood Excellence Training Program this summer. So that is for neighborhood associations and their leaders who would like to gain more skill in making their neighborhood association more effective and also sustainable. So if you have a problem getting people to come out to these meetings, if you have a problem fundraising, if you have a problem executing plans or projects in your neighborhood and want to learn more about how to do that, you can sign up and we will email you about enrolling in the program. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cheyenne Gray, and I work with Shelby County Division of Community Services. There's a new program, a new initiative called the District Connector Program, and we are embedded in each of the 13 Shelby County Commission districts, and our main goal is to connect the community with resources. And we are also building a public-facing directory that will be the tool that will connect the community with those resources. And it's important because we want everyone who comes to the community and the people who are already there to know what is exactly in their districts. And we want them to have a voice in the change that's happening in their communities. So Whitehaven is divided into two districts. A small front part of Whitehaven is a part of District 10. I am the district connector for District 10. And so you can come to that table where that gentleman is standing, and you can come and speak to me and make your voice heard by taking that survey. And the other part, the majority of Whitehaven is sectioned off, and Dr. Pastor Fisher is the district connector for District 9. Many of you know him already. So be sure to connect with him to set up a meeting or just to talk about what you want to be heard about in Whitehaven. So that's my time. Thank y'all.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Erin Jones, and I am the Tennessee Environmental Justice Organizer with an organization called Young, Gifted, and Green. So we are a national environmental justice organization, but specifically our work focuses on clean water, specifically helping people get access to testing, education, and advocacy around lead in their water. So a lot of homes in Memphis are impacted by lead water service lines, and people may be exposed to lead in their water. And a lot of these homes may also be older homes in which they have lead paint in or around the homes. And so our goal is to help people get connected to water testing services, testing for lead paint in their home, and then also if there are other environmental issues that they may want to advocate for around their neighborhood or in their communities, we can provide support with that as well. We also have other programs outside of our lead education and advocacy work that we do. So we have a Youth Environmental Justice Council that we're starting up here in Memphis. So that's to help youth become environmental justice advocates and learn more about how to get involved in this change work. We also have an environmental justice griot program, which is for people 18 and older to actually talk to them about the legacy of environmental work and how we can start to do that more on a community organized basis. And then there's other things that we do nationally. So we're not only here in Memphis, we have groups that organize in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, and of course, Flint, Michigan. So if you all want to learn more about the work that we're doing here in Memphis or any of our national work, please come see me in the back.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mitzi Turnage. I'm with Shelby County Land Bank, and this is Kristen Smith, who is one of my real estate specialists. And what we do and provide for the county or the city is we sell the properties that have been taken in the tax sale. Those that don't sell in the tax sale, we put them on the market for sale. We also do nominal considerations. We call it our NCC and contract. So we donate properties to nonprofit organizations. So you must have a 501c3 so in order to be able to be given these properties. And we would like to see more people coming and contacting us on our website. You can get more information from us at that back table, and any questions that you have for us, make sure. And also, if we have any properties that the county owns that's in your neighborhood and it's not being maintained, call our office. We don't want to be a part of the blight. We want to clean it up. We want to take care of it. So make sure you make that call to our office and get information from us. We're back there in the back. And did I miss anything? Okay. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Pearl Eagle Walker, Memphis City Councilwoman for District 3. And where is District 3? It is this side, the east side of the world famous Elvis Presley Boulevard, going in that direction, taking in Oakhaven, most of Hickory Hill, and the southwest quadrant of Parkway Village. Now for that side of Elvis Presley, the west side, that is District 6, and I would like to recognize District 6 Councilman Ford. Thank you so much for coming. So I am the president of the Whitehaven PJA, that is Partnership Joint Authority. And we meet every second Friday. Starting next week, we're going to be meeting at the Rains Road Precinct, and we meet every second Friday from 2 to 3. And what is PJA? It's a service gap. I conduct the meetings along with Agnes Robinson out of Mayor Young's office, and there are things that get reported, there are issues and concerns, and sometimes things just unfortunately fall through the cracks, and so they roll over, and a lot of these things end up in 311. and things that can't be resolved, they come to us and they're on an agenda. So we have representatives from all the divisions, and they report on these items, and there are recommendations made, resources shared, and things like that. And so MPD is there, code enforcement, city and county, environmental court, MLGW, and many other entities from around Memphis city government. And so how it benefits you to come, you can learn a lot about the inner workings of the city, and it can help you organize your community with this information. A lot of times our efforts may fall short because we just don't have the exact information, the correct information, but you can actually become greater advocates for your community if you come and sit in on these meetings and hear the inner workings of the city. And so once again, that's Partnership Joint Authority, and we meet every second Friday. Starting next week, we'll be at the Rains Road Precinct from 2 to 3 p.m. Thank you.
Well, they saved the best for last, I guess. This one will take 2 or 3 minutes. My name is Julius Holly. I'm president of the Watch for Our Neighborhood Watch right here in Whitehaven. We partnered with this organization to help spread the word, to get people to come out to talk about and see what's being invested into their neighborhood. Pearl is a part of our district. We also, Councilman Ford, he's also a part of our district. So what we do, we band together. We meet the first Monday of every month at Southwest Tennessee College. So if you guys are looking for an organization to join, to come out and help serve the community and to figure out what we can do to fight crime and to get this city cleaner and better, we're a group you might want to join. We're sitting at this table right here. All you have to do is come up and give us your information, and we'll get in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you for our community partners. I have actually 2 more community partners that never get thanked, and I want to make sure that they are thanked. And first is our wonderful, amazing friends at Memphis Parks. Memphis Parks have been such a friend to us. Mr. Boyd has been away. He's the community center director here. Come to this community center. Come hang out here. We are so grateful for our partners. And then this amazing place is not just for city meetings and community meetings, it's for the community. If you are interested in birthday parties, bridal showers, baby showers, what have you, this place is for the community. I know she don't want me to do it, but I'm gonna shout out Miss Sharon anyway, over there. She's a wonderful person. Please give her a hand. I like how to know that she's up here and set up the tables. I'm like, Miss Sharon, we can do that, but we're so grateful for our friends in the parks. Well, like I said, my name is Christina, and I'm gonna do my best to talk slow. I talk really fast, especially when I'm excited, and I am excited about this. It is muggy, it is 70 degrees for some reason, and it's rainy, and you all still came to show up for your community. So the other group I want to thank is you all. Thank you for being here so much. Y'all give yourselves a hand. So, Memphis 3.0. That's how we all came out here. Y'all heard something about Memphis 3.0. I believe firmly that everywhere we go carrying something. I know some of y'all came in this meeting and you're like, I'm here just to find out what the city up to. Yeah, I know. Some of us are, I'm here because I'm excited about what I've heard changes that the city wants to do. Some of y'all are, I'm here because I'm concerned about the changes the city wants to do. I'm aware that all of us are here and we all have like those things that we're bringing in with us. So I'm gonna actually ask us, for the sake of this meeting, if we could do a couple things. That's all right. First, I wanna respect your time and I wanna respect your voice. So because of those 2 things, I'm gonna ask if you could actually hold your questions, your comments, concerns, scream of outrage, I don't know what else you wanna give me, but to the end, and I would promise you that I will come and have a conversation with you. So that's the first thing. Because the longer I'm up here talking, the less time we're actually getting to the work. All right? So that's the first thing. The second one, I'm gonna ask ask you to hear each other out. So, first I'm gonna talk to the planners. If you are a staff planner or a University of Memphis student studying planning, can you raise your hand saying, yeah, these are our people, right? So first I'm gonna ask the planners. These are some smart people. They have fancy planning degrees, they have all these things. They are experts in the way that land works with land, but I'm gonna tell you what they are not experts in. What it's like being on that street with that one neighbor. What it's like coming home from work in your community. What it's like when those other things that are happening in your neighborhood. We need, as planners, to remember that we know a lot of stuff. We don't know everything. And we need to be mindful and make sure that we are intentionally listening to what the community has to say. Likewise, community. These are planners, right? Hear them out. I don't know if y'all are coming in just, oh man, they don't want to know what we have to say. They're here. They're here and they're at your table. So actually hear what they came to tell you. Those are the first thing, hold your questions for me. Second, hear us out. Third thing is for the community. I want for your voice to be heard. So at any time, if you feel as if the planners don't get you, there's something else going on and your voice is not being heard, come by me. I know I'm real short. I'm right here. I will sit here, I will answer questions, I'll have a one-on-one conversation, and I'm very glad to do so, all right? All right, so we're actually gonna move on. So what is Memphis 3.0? Memphis 3.0 is the City of Memphis's comprehensive land use plan. What does that mean? Well, the way that the city is growing, because I know it's crazy, we've been talking about the city gonna grow for a long time, the City of Memphis is growing. The way that it grows matters, and the way that we plan for it to grow matters, and it changes the way that we think about our communities as the city grows. So what the Memphis 3.0 plan is, it is a guide to help us grow. The guide of how the city grows. Now, is a guide a plan, or a guide is a plan, but is it the full actionable thing? No. Let me tell you what a guide is. A guide is kind of like a recipe. If I came to Memphis Black Restaurant Week in Whitehaven, and I was like, I got a great recipe. Y'all gonna look at me crazy. Why? Because y'all want food. Y'all want the real thing, right? So what the Memphis 3.0 plan does, it tells us this is the type of ingredients that we want to see to make up this community versus the next, all right? So it's a guide. It tells us the kind of ways that we want to move. We'll go to the next slide, please. So why are we updating it? Because it was adopted in 2019, and that's a long time ago. A lot has happened since 2019, and we want to make sure that the plan reflects the priorities and the things that matter to this community still. So there are 5 parts of the plan. Here we are spending a whole year updating one part. And that part is called the district priorities part. Because those are when we're talking about people's neighborhoods, where people are, where people live. And we want to make sure that we're handling them with care. So our part 4 is what is our district priorities. This is what we've been doing. We started in August of 2024. We will continue until August or September of 2025 of this year of just doing this. Updating and listening to communities. We're going to have 3 meetings per community. This is the first one. We will continue. As you can see, we're kind of halfway in our halfway mark. And then besides the 3 meetings, we also have office hours where if there's something that you want to discuss or something that was brought up at a meeting, talk to me or one of the planners at your table, and we'll set up a follow-up call with you. We also have surveys that you should have some on your table. You have online, there's a map that you can go click on that's interactive. And then eventually we will come back for a 4th workshop. Next slide. So what about Whitehaven? The Whitehaven district, if you go and look at the comprehensive plan, it is page 390, because I've been a Whitehaven plan up for a second. It has different elements. The first thing that you're going to see are different demographic data and fancy maps and things like that. The plan staff, we have that data. We can update that data, right? What we can't update without you is your priorities, and that's what we're here to do tonight. We're here, like if you look at the Memphis 3.0 page, that is the literal page for Whitehaven. On the corner, there's a box, or there's not a box, there's a list of 4 sentences. So the first thing that we're here to do tonight is to actually gauge to see if the priorities that were adopted in the 2019 adoption of the plan are still the priorities and reflect what's happening today. The second thing we want to talk about tonight are the anchors, are the places that were pointed out in the 2019 plan, still the places that we still want to see in the upcoming plan. Go to the next slide. Places. Whitehaven only has, right now, according to the plan, has 3 anchors. And you might say, Christina, you got me all the way out here with all these people for 4 sentences and 3 places? Absolutely. And this is why. Those priorities guide how the rest of our conversations go. Those anchors are the center point. So we don't get that right. If we don't start right, we ain't gonna end right, right? So we want to make sure that we're being very careful and mindful in what we are doing here tonight. So if you do not have a map at your table, I'm gonna say, come on, squeeze in to a place where it has a map. I think we are out of maps because y'all showed up, and I'm grateful for that. So for our first task of the night, you should have a paper on the table that says anchors and priorities. It should, Nagin, can you give me that anchors and priorities page? Thank you. It should look like this. I know y'all can see it. In small print on the right-hand side, you have 4 sentences. And the 4 sentences are what's up there. And these were the priorities that were adopted in the 2019 plan. We go to the next one. So our first task of the night is at your table with your planners, we are going to have a conversation of what's here written on the priorities. Is this something that you agree with? Is this something that you're neutral about? Or is it something that you disagree with? If you agree, you say, yeah, I agree with this. This is what the planner's here. The planner's here. This is important, and it should remain a priority. That's what we hear. If you say, no, I'm neutral, what we hear is, if it's good for somebody, it's good for me. It may not be important to me, but but I support it if my community supports it. That's what we hear. If you say you disagree, what we hear is, we think this is a waste of time and resources for our community to support this. Come up with whether you agree or disagree. That's our first step. And then after we figure out if these are things that we agree or disagree about, what I'm going to ask you to do is ask or tell the planner what they need to do about it. Is it a priority that needs to be rewritten? If you agree with it, but the way it's worded is confusing. Or is it one of those things where it's just kind of vague and I need y'all to be more specific? Those are the kinds of conversations that we want to have. And if there's something that is a priority and it's not on this list, tell them and we can add a new priority, all right? So we have about 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and I'm gonna come back and we're gonna move to the next thing. If after 20 minutes your table is still going, there's a way that we can continue the conversation, but just come back.
We are trying to identify if these anchors still work. Like, do you want to see like different anchors? Like, what is the anchor, first of all? Anchor is the place where we see the development starting from. Like, let's just say the Southland Southwood Wall. A place of like commercial and mixed uses, and then we have slowly other developments going around that, or the Whitehaven Plaza. What we see around that, mixed uses, lots of commercial opportunities. If you think that there are other places in your neighborhood which can have the same type of developments and same potentials, today is the day you mark that. And also tell us like what do you want to see in your neighborhood. Okay, I haven't started yet, but well, I'm Ramana. I am with the City of Memphis Comprehensive Planning. I will be facilitating today's meeting. And
I'm sorry.
no, it's fine, I know. And the slogan, she will be assisting me in recording what we are talking about. If you didn't hear who I am, I'm Ramana. I am with the Comprehensive Planning. I will move closer so that you can all hear. Okay, the first task. As you have seen in the agenda, that we have divided the task into like 2 parts. One is this section. We'll talk about this one. And the other one is the next part, which is basically this anchor actions. So what is the difference between these two? The priorities are basically for the whole Whitehaven planning district. we have. Please feel free to ask any question that is like you want like clarification. I know that all these jargons about anchors, places doesn't make sense unless you know like what it is. So feel free to stop me, ask me questions. That is what we are here for. So if you all could just look at these priorities at first. So the first priority is address blight and vacancy in multifamily and major structures within anchors and along major corridors. Do you think Whitehaven needs that? Yes. Do we all agree? Okay. So priorities one, we agree with that. Do you want to add something to that?
No.
No? Okay.
What you said, so it says in multi-family. What about single family?
Do you think that single family is like a necessity in this neighborhood? Do you have like, what about the blights, the vacancies that you have?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yes, the blight and vacancies, they will address the single family situation.
Well,
I think. Go ahead. I think that like if you have a single family home, people would take care of the property better. There's nobody next to them. And the more people you have in one area, you have more problems.
So, what
So if you have an apartment of people, you have a lot of problems in an apartment versus a single family home.
okay, so you are saying that there is a lack of single family housing properly maintained.
No. I'm not saying that there's a lack. I'm just saying that all of the vacant land and blight properties, there need to be more single family homes.
Okay. So, is it like, what is the most number of families? Like, is it like single family that is the most there? Like, what is the majority of the family types that we see in Whitehaven?
What is it?
Is it like, you are saying that single family housing should be like the developments that should go on the vacant and like blighted properties? So is it mostly a single family one, like a neighborhood, let's just say just behind the Whitehaven Plaza, there is like lots of different sorts of housings. There are single family housings, there are multi-family ones. So do you think that is a good development, or do you think all of this should be single family?
I feel like it should be a mixture.
Yeah, it should be a mixture. So that's what I'm saying. But you only have one in one family.
Okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying. So it should be a mixed type of housing.
Yeah.
But I think another problem with that is there are single family houses, but a lot of them are rental homes. And because they are rental homes, the people who own them may not even live in the States and they're not taking care of them. So therefore you have a lot of, it's bringing the neighborhoods down because they're not there to watch over who's renting, yards are not being taken care of, garbage cans are being left at the end of the street. And so to me, they don't have respect for the neighborhood because they're just renting. And to me, if they're going to have renters, they need to be able to also monitor what their renters are doing.
Okay. No, that is something that I think that is very common in these neighborhoods. We have been hearing them a lot. I understand what you're saying. It is like mixed income and like well maintained. That should be our priority. So we can take care of the mixed housings, but the maintenance work, it has to be the goal.
Well, but they're not, I don't think code enforcement, and I understand because of COVID and lack of staff that they can't get to everything, but it seems like code enforcement is not coming out to look at anything. I mean, people are dumping, stuff is left there for months on end, trash is all over the place, and so once upon a time, Memphis was called Memphis Beautiful. It's not Memphis Beautiful, it had been Memphis Beautiful in a long time. And the Whitehaven area is a big part of that.
Yes, I think what can solve that is that PJAs, that Whitehaven PJAs, that's one of the places where you can just report the incidents and that can just go back to the code enforcement and they will be like more inspired to take list infrastructure to increase accessibility and safety along major corridors. Safety issue.
Yes.
Anybody want to
I
go
mean, we
first?
have speed bumps, but are they really working?
Also, I think some of the problems that I see with the speed bump is different types of speed bumps.
Yes.
And some of the
Some of them, you get hemorrhoids, you're going to hurt yourself.
yes, like okay, so there's different types of speed bumps that they have. There's some like the long, skinny ones, and then they have like the short, wild ones that kind of look like they made of rubber. And some of those speed bumps will tear up your cars, like this, and they have them in the weirdest places, and they don't have them in places where they really need them.
Okay. That just I understand what you mean. We might need like more strategic placement of speed bumps.
And the type of speed bumps, because also the way how some of them are made, you can just kind of like zip around them, and that can also cause accidents as well too.
Do you mean like the curb extensions, or like more like with they're called chicane, but we don't have chicane in Memphis. I have an idea like what you are talking about. I have seen like similar carved roads, the zigzag one you are talking about. So I'm just trying to figure out where in Whitehaven is that particular.
No, I mean where like how.
Yeah, Navy Road, they are hard. You cannot fly by the ones.
Yes.
Navy Road is kind of like Front Street in downtown.
What is the name again?
Neely, N-E-E-L-Y.
Yes. Yeah. Which is okay. There shall be
Just mark it on the map.
Neely right here. This is Neely.
But Neely is out of like your area boundary.
But Neely technically is still this is Whitehaven.
Homes in Neely and goes all the way to Mitchell and Neely.
Because this is also
This is Shepherd Drive.
yeah.
And this is like Rains Road.
Take the
Between
mark
this,
it on the
between this area, there's some really hard speed bumps to the point that I avoid this.
Yeah, I have to take alternate routes as well.
It'll hurt your tires. Yeah, from here.
Yeah, because this is Rains. So if we come off Rains and then you turn right here, there's like a church. There's some speed bumps right there now. And then if you go further down, like you're going towards home, there's speed bumps right there too.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
It goes all the way to
Where is Holmes Road?
It
Holmes
goes,
Road is here.
So Holmes Road, where is Mitchell at?
and Mitchell is okay. So if this is Levi, this
Yeah,
is
so
Mitchell.
all of the speed bumps. All the way.
And they're really hard.
Yeah.
Which is good because it slows. It makes you.
But also,
slow down.
there's no signs that say that their speed bumps are coming to give people enough time to slow down.
Yeah, some signs are torn down. But then, is it Hodge that had speed bumps? But they're the kinds that are like the mounds.
whenever you are
And you can
whatever
fly
you
over
are
them.
talking
Yeah.
about,
And that's
could you
where
please
it's
put it on the map?
I think so.
Like mark it on the map so that I can later on when I just look at the map I know like exactly where those things are.
And what you mark?
There you go.
Okay. Now here's my concern. Like the cycle lanes, the bicycle lanes. It's just my personal opinion. I think it's a waste of money. That money should be allocated to something else.
Exactly what?
And the reason why is because in my district, the Whitehaven district, people are not into exercise. I have not seen anybody
Ride a bike.
in the bicycle lane.
Right.
Well, the
Yeah,
problem
the
is
reason is the bike
people
lanes
are afraid to
not-
drive. You
Bike
can run
lanes are
over
not
because they
convenient
don't
for
respect
them.
the bicycle.
So this district is different from maybe some what's the-
Like Midtown.
yeah, something like that. This
Yeah.
district is not.
If there was a way where people would be more inclined to buy more bikes, if there's more walking places, more parks, more community centers that's friendly to pedestrians and cyclists, you were in this area, that might encourage more people to walk in. And
It's not that they don't want to use it, they're
right, 'cause
afraid.
I would love to ride my bike, but
Maybe that's it.
You're going to get run over.
right, because people don't respect the bicycle lanes.
I know they're not being used.
Yeah.
That's why I said that money should be
Well,
shifted somewhere else.
Or put it towards putting some initiative in encouraging the neighbors to use them. Like,
The bike lanes. Yeah, exactly. The bike lanes, the reason Whitehaven people cannot use the bike lane is because the bike lane is not protected. And Whitehaven roads are like super speedy and lots of traffic and people don't feel comfortable. That's what we are trying to change here, like pedestrian and cyclist infrastructure.
yeah, because on Rains Road, between Neely and going up here, there is a bike lane.
Yeah.
But people just come over here and drive and make it back to a two-way street. So cars are driving in the bike lane.
or right where the church is, they're parking there.
Liberty Park.
Yeah. So
You can leave your comments, it's fine.
But like in downtown Memphis, I think it's on Dunlap, there is a bike lane, but they got these really hard boulder type things that separate the bike lane from the street. So cars can come over here and you feel safer to ride your bike.
right.
Yeah,
But
that is a
over here-
protected bike lane. I have something similar in front of my apartment building. I live in the downtown, so I know exactly what you are talking about. Yes, that is one of the ways to make the bike lane safer.
Yeah.
And also, wherever they're riding their bikes to, needs to be a safe place for them to store their bike while they're doing whatever they need to be doing. So,
The bike infrastructure is like lots of things all together. You have to make sure that the bike lanes are safer, the crossings are safer, the signaling system is safer, and that is a long-term project. But we also want to hear like deep city, Whitehaven having that in the future.
yeah.
Exactly. That's it. Then we agree with this one.
Yeah.
I know.
You
Well-
know, it's fine. It's
Well,
fine.
Yeah.
the problem, I used
I
to
just
live.
don't. I feel like this is a waste of money.
Well, the
I
problem
really do.
is that we need to change the culture of Memphis, and I don't know how that culture will ever change. I used to live in Seattle, Washington. In Seattle, people respected pedestrians.
I give you a fist bump because I'm from there.
They protected,
I understand it.
and there was enough police out there that if I'm walking across the street and a car comes, they must stop. It's not an option not to stop, so therefore you're not run over. Right now, the bicycle lane probably could be used, but people are not going to use it because there's nothing to make them stop. So
Yes,
therefore,
exactly. The signaling system is not there. The bike lanes are not protected at this
I mean, because
point.
how many stories have you heard where people were pedestrian killed, and all this stuff? Children, a child hit because people we just speed through, not paying attention. They run lights, and so therefore there is no laws, culture to make people respect the bicyclists and the pedestrian. So that's why in Whitehaven you don't walk. You have to drive everywhere.
Okay. So if we want to, if you can add or modify this particular priority, how would you want to do that?
Well, unfortunately, until the city can afford more police, where they can patrol more, because right now the problem also is that there is not enough police to even patrol, to be able to monitor and write real tickets for this.
So the money for the bicycle lanes could be allocated to the police officers.
Yeah, we need both.
So that's what I'm saying. The
We need
bicycle
both.
lane, it needs to be
Because
allocated to somewhere else.
because until the culture
Okay,
shifts,
everybody, y'all have great conversations. We're gonna have bring it back in about 10 minutes, all right? So keep going, and they're gonna bring it back in.
Okay. So I hear
we
that.
enhance. I don't know if there was an expound. I guess the word expound.
All right. Okay. What I can say is we can add a priority that might be like improving the legal system, like the policing and maybe grading safety.
Security, safety.
But see, that takes money.
Yeah.
All that takes money.
It does.
Yeah, it
I mean, anything that they do today is gonna take money.
But if you eliminate the bike lanes until this, so we're not ready for this right now.
No, because truthfully, I agree. Our number one priority in Whitehaven is security. And we do not have security.
So we're not ready for that right now. So that's why I said that money could be, that money could go somewhere else until we are ready.
So here is the one thing. This fund that we will have for the cyclists that like pedestrian improvement will not actually be allotted to the police force. That is a different pot of money that comes from the city. This is for
I was being sarcastic. But what I'm saying is it could go to like helping fixing the blight properties or helping something else that it can go to.
Or them potholes.
That's what I was saying.
And then the third one is improve the quality of commercial, retail, and restaurants options to encourage local spending in the district from residents and tourists.
But that, great, but it goes back to if people do not feel safe going to these places, don't feel like they're going to be robbed or whatever else, you can put any restaurant you want to there. It's not going to be attended because people mess up security.
Right.
And in the Westwood area, they're getting ready to hopefully update the Southwest Twin. The number one thing that people wanted there was a police station because there's not one down there.
What is it going to be?
Third and
No, so what is it going to be? It's going to be another movie theater?
oh no, they're tearing it down. They tore it down. They're gonna put a police station, a library. And behind that, it's gonna be a water park. Water park.
It will be a civic center sort of development.
Yes,
Like lots of things coming
all by
together.
grants, made by grants, so no tax.
So you stay in Westwood? Stay in Westwood?
I stayed in White.
This is what I think
I
personally.
stay over here.
Once the new buildings
It's
and stuff
38109,
go, I think people
Got you.
feel safe.
Because I'm like,
going to these places.
It's gonna be really nice.
Do you agree? I think once new buildings are put up, like commercial buildings and stuff put up in the area, people will feel safer about
Well,
it.
they need to tear down the Southland Mall and rebuild something like, I know they have the Foot Locker and it's a one alone, you know, kind of like in Mississippi where they did, it's not a mall, so it's not a mall. They go to
Start wrapping up
like
the
the strip
conversation.
mall.
And you're in a conversation that is just too good and you can't get to a point where you can start to wrap it up. Come by me and I'll show you how we can continue the conversation. But for the most part, we want to move to the next thing.
because
I have the last one. Before the time runs out, we can just come back with that one. The last one is repurpose vacant lots and parking for public recreation and park development initiatives. What do we think about this one?
that's great, but to me the biggest demand that Memphis has is we do not have housing. To me, that's more important than a vacant lot or
We
recreation.
have this one. We have here the housing.
Yeah. But we don't have affordable housing.
Okay.
And to me, that's more important than another recreation area.
But if you can have it, after having all those like houses and all those infrastructures, do you want that?
Yeah. Say it again.
Like if you
But
can
after we have the affordable housing, then
Yes.
I'll just keep a note, affordable housing.
Can I make a note about the anchor?
Okay. Oh, that is like the second part. So you will have.
Westwood area. What area is it?
I'm right over here. There's
Basically,
y'all not thinking about me right now, but that's okay. I'm here anyway.
That's okay. I'm on the same
Because
boat.
this is still my community.
Right. Like they neighbors or next door.
Okay. What do you have like the comment about?
Okay, because I see how y'all got like Whitehaven in this colorful section right here. But as far as like the anchor goes, like if you drive down this to like across Westwood right here, there's a welcome to Whitehaven sign. So I feel like this part is part of Whitehaven too. And that should be like an anchor because that's
the
where
welcome center right there.
Right. There's a welcome center for visitor, like a visitation center.
Here, you can leave the note here. It's fine.
Yeah.
The name tag. I'm gonna go late.
In the back corner.
Far corner. Yep, by the exit door.
All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. First, I want to thank you all. I was walking around eavesdropping on all of you, and y'all are already doing the work to rewrite our priorities well, and also, I don't know where to stand. And also, some of y'all are moving on to the next section, and I love overachievers. In the next section, we talked about the general priorities, right? Now we want to start talking about where. Where do these priorities make sense in this place, and to what extent? So I'm going to actually ask Lee. Hi, Lee. Will you be my slide turner? So in order to do this, I'm going to start real big, real big, and then get small. Okay? So in the Memphis 3.0 plan, there are things called place types, and place types are just types of places. That's it. Not creative, place types. And we have identified 6 place types. 2 of the place types are called anchors. The other 4 place types we will talk about. We gotta come back to workshop 2 to talk about the other type. I know, spoiler. But for the anchors, that's what we're here to talk about. We define anchors, if you go to the next slide, as hubs of activity at the heart of well-connected communities. They're the places where people are doing things together, and they range from big to small. So how do you know this place is an anchor in your neighborhood? They should be well-connected. Now, I did not say that they are. I said they should be. They should be places where people should be able to walk. They should be able to ride the bus if they want to. They should be places that people can gather easily, right? They should be, well-connected. And if they were to change, the whole neighborhood would feel it. The whole neighborhood would feel it. That's something else to consider. Because of that, they have a kind of influence on what's happening around the development rise. Now, some of y'all are like, my church got all that. My school, my kid's school, the park has that. But what's the difference between your church, your park, your school, and an anchor? It's that anchors change. I want your school to be your school. If the school, unfortunately, something, Lord forbid, closes, I want it to be a school. I don't want it to pop up as some different use. An anchor, on the other hand, if it changes ownership, maybe it was that real cool corner store that everybody hung out at, but now it's a nail salon, you're like, all right, I'm glad people are in it. If you can say it changes and I'm glad people are in it, you're probably thinking more on the lines of an anchor. In the city, or in Winchester, there are 3 anchors, and they have different types. There are different types of anchors. If you go to the next slide. The plan has 6 different types of anchors. From the smallest, it's called a neighborhood crossing. I want you to think of a neighborhood crossing as a place where it might be that corner store, it might be that intersection, it might be that place where you and your neighbors, people on your street, know about and go to, right? And the next one is getting bigger, and intensity is a word that the planners like to use, which is a neighborhood main street. It's that place where you and your neighbors know about it, but so do the people in South Haven, so do the people in Westwood, right? The surrounding neighborhoods also know this place, right? We get bigger, we're talking urban Main Street. We're talking about places where somebody in Fraser says, I'm meeting in Whitehaven, they're going to, that's what we're talking about. The impact of it, the reach of it is larger, right? If you keep going, urban centers are, there's only 2 in the city of Memphis, and that's Crosstown and on Poplar, those big, like the high bank towers. So we're talking big block scale buildings and developments. Urban core is downtown, and then the last one is called medical and institutional campus. When we're thinking about medical or institutions, they're saying people are coming all over to this neighborhood, to this place, for very specific things, to either go to a institution like Southwest or go to the hospital. Those are those. So in Whitehaven, you have 3. You have that were identified in 2019. 3 that were identified in 2019. You have a neighborhood Main Street, you have an urban Main Street, and you have medical and institutional campus. Are there more? Y'all have to tell us. Are there other places that are like, okay, but we do have that cool intersection that everybody in our neighborhood knows about? I'm thinking about Lakeview and Craft. I think there's like that corner store that's there. That is a place where people can go, right? People who know about it in the neighborhood. It might be a neighborhood crossing. Those are the things that we want to identify, because those priorities that you just worked on, they're going to inform the actions that happen there. So if you're working on a priority and your priority said we need a better walkability or whatever it said, or we need a better street, something like that, then when we're thinking about the places in our neighborhoods, how can we make this a better neighborhood street? That's how those things go together. So if you go to the next one. So our second activity for the evening, if we want to look at our map, our first thing that we want to do is look at the anchors that are on the map. And I want you to tell me, yes, this is a place that needs to be on the map, and we need to talk about the actions and the activities that go there. The second thing that I want you to say is, hey, why isn't this on the map? It is everything that you just said, and it needs to be here. Identify new anchors. And then if you have the time, I want you to start to identify the anchor types. So say, hey, this is something that's big. This is something that's small. This is something that people from all over the city of Memphis is going to come to. This is something that, it's just me and my neighborhood they're going to be interacting with. Those are the types of scales. And the last thing is draw the area of influence. So if you have time, this is we asked y'all for extra credit. Aside is, I want you to literally say, all right, if one of our anchors is Southland Mall, then I think Southland Mall, the impact that it's having on the surrounding areas is this big. I want you to draw a circle around it. All right? Those are all of our things. And then after we do this, I'll come back and we're going to do the scariest part of the night, which is I want you to tell me what y'all talked about. I want you all to assign a person to talk for 2 minutes and come up here and tell everybody what y'all talked about. And the reason that we do that is for 2 reasons. One, it's just accountability. I don't want us to have all these table conversations, the conversations that have happened over here, nobody over here knows about, right? I want y'all to be able to know what each other are talking about, or the things that were brought up. And the other reason is almost always, sometimes we've been doing this meeting, and people say completely opposite things. And sometimes everybody gets up there and says the same thing. So it's very good for community so that we know, hey, this is not just something that our little group thought. It's everybody in Whitehaven that came up here and said the same thing, right? Those are the things. Y'all got another 20 minutes? I'll be back up here. I might need a teacher voice friend to come back and help me. But I will try to give you updates as we go. All